The first few days are always the hardest in a little orphan's life, and the same goes for little Edson here. The realization still hasn't set in that your mom's never going to come back, and your life is drastically changed. And this is like the little trauma that these little guys go through initially. Still looking for their mom, hoping there's a chance that she's just forgotten them for a little while and she'll be back to pick them up shortly. But of course this stretches on for days and days, and slowly they get the realization that that's not going to happen anymore, and hopefully start settling down and accepting their new fate in life.
So here we've got Terri and Edson, and their quarantine is now finished, so it's time to get them out of Neverland. And thankfully the other group of Roddy, Cappy, Daisy May and Geo have just moved to the Skunky intro cage, so Disneyland is nice and empty. So we'll get these ones moved down. And that means they'll join Mini Max, Finley and Oswald, and they can all just be one group in the larger part of Disneyland. So much brighter in here, a lot bigger space. They've got some branches and also the feeding cage. And of course we've also got Finley and Mini Max, who were in the back here just to keep them separate as they were on special requirements for feeding. And of course with Mini Max's leg healing. And Oswald's also in here. We've just put him in here for a few minutes just to keep him contained. So this little five, of course these guys have already met each other, but Terri and Edson are new. So you can probably just sit with them a while and give them a bit of comfort.
Yeah, I was just looking for another blanket actually. So you need something to...
Let me give you a seat.
Oh, actually, are these clean blankets here?
Oh no. You definitely do not want to sit on those.
I know, it's okay.
Give the Oswald welcome. Oh, we've got a poop here. There's got a poop on them. So a bit of chaos in here, but we've got this is Terri, Edson. This chaos nugget here is Oswald, who's super excited. And then here we've got Finley and Mini Max. So all the smalls, the teenies, plus Oswald, who's a little older. As you can tell, he's a lot more boisterous, a lot more confident, adventurous. Oh, actually, and Edson, who's already... Edson and Oswald are the oldest, so we're thinking they might actually form a good pair for foster mums.
so many waiting lists for dentists now as well.
Mm-hmm.
Mini Max and Finley in the back of Disneyland. You can see little Mini Max's leg is coming on a lot better. At least he's starting to use it and get around a bit, building up that strength. You'll have to go to the vet again at some stage just to check that everything's going okay. But so far it seems like he's doing alright. He is using the leg a little bit and building up the strength, so hopefully it has healed properly. And with his little friend Finley, at least he's got somebody to play with and keep him occupied during the day. But these two little ones seem to be really having a lot of fun in the back here, messing around and playing around and keeping each other company, which is great. Keeps their mind off the trauma that they've been through, and hopefully soon they can meet the others on the other side.
It's also creamy. Yeah. But a little bit too soft, no? No. Are you going to my hair? No, you don't put. Really? Is that your plan? Let me see. Yeah, okay, you're not that.
Oh, they're just so cute. So we have, this one is Mini Max, who has a shaved leg.
Yeah.
So we don't know why he was orphaned again. He was found alone on a farm and we didn't have any information. But it looks like hit by a car. So when he came in, he had this leg broken. He needed some stitches in the hand on the same side, and he was very dirty. It looked like he'd been pushed into dirt.
Yeah.
So he had to have surgery on his leg. He had a pin put in there, and he was like a week old.
Very interesting.
All 5 of them.
That was badly judged, wasn't it?
Big brother Oswald back in. Finley and Mini Max giving each other a hug back. Oh, Finley's trying to get away again. Let's see, we better free him if he doesn't manage it himself. Everybody likes giving Finley a hug.
Edson's turn for a bath. Wash your face first, good boy. Stinky boy. Pretty boy. Yeah, he's gorgeous. Those beautiful Disney eyes, eh? Okay. I'm not gonna love this part. Okay, darling. Into the distance through there. Let's make this quickly up. Gonna be all soft and fluffy, like Terri. How do you feel being so soft and fluffy, huh? You'd love it. They do look miserable when they're wet. Oh, is that so horrible? It's his eye. Ah, it's got a little cut. It's okay. It's okay.
Please behave, we'll be going live.
I didn't know you can talk to us like that. Yeah. And all the cameras. In all of them. Yeah. I'll just be outside of my cabin. Talk to Dave. Can do. Hey Terry. Hey. Which ones do you want? There you go. Look, big spot of poop. Or is it a cut? Might be a cut. Okay. I know I'm so horrible. Okay. Yay! Freedom! And cleanliness. Oswald, Edson looking outside, and Terry. Looks so suspicious of me.
Of course, in any baby or little one's development, exploring and clambering around is a very important part of their growth. And the same goes for these little orphans. So investigating things, finding little bugs and stuff like this is very important. And also sometimes eating little bits of mud and the grasses that they find builds up their little immune system so that they're a lot stronger for when they're going to go out and face the real world.
Teeny tiny Terri. Oswald on the right and Edson on the left. You can see how small Terri is compared to boys.
Little Oswald in the feeding cage showing us how to drink a bottle, but with a little face and how he flicks his head, I don't know if he really enjoyed his milk or not. That's what you call a bundle of monkeys.
So we're down here at the skunky intro cage, and Elise is looking after our 4 orphans from this group: Roddy, Cappy, Daisy May and Gio. And they actually moved here yesterday for their first official trip. So this is their first full day today though. They've had a good drink, so we're now going to sit close to the fence as lots of the mums are here. Now we've also got last year's orphans in the feeding cage. We've got all 3 of them here: Brew, Kenny and Punim, and it looks like Renee's also managed to squeeze in there. She's one from the year before, so she's actually a 2-year-old. So they're all at the fence, and of course Gio has run back for a drink.
So we have Roddy and Cappy in skunky intro cage. They were a bit clingy initially, but have settled down a bit. Did go in with some encouragement to have a drink, and as you can see are playing now. And down there you have Daisy May in the front and Gio at the back, enjoying a bit of a snack. Gio a little bit clingy still. So we have Cappy on the extreme left, Roddy, Daisy May in the front, Gio at the back. So still at skunky intro cage. All the babies are enjoying some foodies.
Of course the biggest thing is for these little guys to learn this feeding cage, so it's nice to see them moving over there, and we all get kind of excited trying to see who's going to be the first one in there to help himself to some milk. And of course there's always little attempts and things like this going on, and nobody quite seems to get it right. They all see their little bottles in the back there, and not quite sure how they're going to get hold of them. So they've got this little problem they've got to solve and see if they can basically get their little milk bottles. Can see them investigating the outside, and so I'm sure there must be somewhere in here. Can't really be that hard, and sometimes they just give up for a little while, but I think the taste of the milk sort of keeps them attracted, keeps them trying to work out. You'd be surprised that they can't see that big hole in front of them and saying, oh, what's this? But it looks like they're more interested in a piece of grass at the moment, and sort of that's keeping them busy. And you can just see how close that was, almost through the little hole but not quite. Hopefully we'll get some help from this side. This little said, what you guys trying to do? So no, we're trying to get into our milk bottles. So, well, it can't really be that difficult. All you have to do is climb through this hole over here, and you get in this side, and once you've drunk your milk you come and you climb out this side. So I don't know what you guys are worried about, but so still nobody actually got in and actually drank their milk, but that's how it goes sometimes.
So it's skunky intro cage, and that is Cappy showing interest in the troop monkeys. and of course them showing interest back at him. So at the fence we have Cappy and Gio.
Well, you can see how interested the females are. They really want to groom these little ones, with the little hand being stuck underneath the gate there and trying to get hold of them, just to touch them a little bit. There you can see one of the hands that just managed to get through. So it is kind of a precious little moment, this where little babies start accepting the wild or the troop on the other side, and making this kind of contact, and the mom's getting eager to come and meet these little ones. We do have to be careful in this stage, because sometimes they can be pulled towards the fence, and this is why we got the smaller mesh or bird wire on there, just to make sure that no injuries can really occur with one of the monkeys, like pulling a baby straight against the fence and injuring its little arm or something like that. But at the moment everything seems to be going well. Moms are very, very interested in the little ones, and the little ones seem to be doing their part, playing right next to the fence and keeping the mothers excited about it.
Cappy, Roddy, Daisy May and Gio. It's fly bugging Cappy.
So as you can see, the little ones are getting very familiar with the cage, so this is very, very important. So and this is one of the reasons we don't let the older monkeys in straight away. We let the youngsters sort of get the feel of the cage, find out where everything is, get used to climbing up and down to the various perches and things like this, just giving it a good exploration, so that they do feel a little bit safer. So this is important, so that they know they can climb or clamber up someplace if they think they have to get away from the new foster moms that come in. Not that they really stand much chance, but it's just to give them that little bit of extra feeling of security. So it's very important, and as you can see, these lot are doing very well, very dexterous, managing to climb up and down with no problems at all.
Getting groomed and giving some grooms, trying to. Yeah, bye. Martha and Mags. While these guys are just drinking, or while Daisy May is drinking, and Gio's just clinging to her. Here's Martha saying hello. Roddy and Cappy just were very brave going up to her. Roddy. What are you doing, little man? Martha groom. Okay, Roddy and Cappy are very interested in her. Just touching her hand. Don't scream. Gonna get angry at me. Gonna get me in trouble. Roddy again saying hello. Cappy just behind, and Daisy May. I'm holding to you. Here's Max coming as well. Max and Reggie and Martha. thanks to Daisy May the whole time. Spock as well. Roddy and Cappy are still the bravest boys. Daisy May is a bit nervous. Oh, stop it. It's impossible to film. They just get in your way always. And Gio is just clinging to Daisy May the whole time. No! Don't stop my film. So outside it's still Martha, grooming Spock. Ow, 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 not my earrings. No, Cappy. It's like, as soon as you pull out the camera, they just go for it. They are also having fun on those ropes. Roddy also saying hello to male Spock. Stop it, Cappy. He wants to turn off the video. It's like, paparazzi, stop. Yeah. Oh, and Daisy May and Gio are also downstairs now. Daisy May is coming back. Nervous. I think Roddy is the bravest of them all. Having a grooming fest. Redulus, you want to say hello? You want to say hello to Paradise? They are clearly very busy with the sticks that they found. Daisy May.
Wrist, and she couldn't use her hand probably, and that was a new one again. So I don't know.
I think.
You should take a video of him suckling her.
This is Skylar down at the H&B Holton Barrington Troop, still doing well after integrations, enjoying some breakfast. You can see some of the other troop members there up in the trees.
So we're really pleased for her that she's doing so good. And comes Pedro. As you can see, she moves away. But Scarlet doesn't move too far away, just gets out of the way of the food pile for Pedro, and then she continues eating nearby. There's Count in the tree behind on the left. He's an old boy. And she has a bit of a altercation with Tandy. Tandy's quite low ranked, so she does tend to start things. Nobody wants to be the lowest ranked in the troop. And there's Yoshi. Yoshi and Tandy. Victoria, also an older lady. And Jinx you would have seen before in the last season as well. Also now fully integrated into the group. Usually down the bottom end of the troop, near Pedro. And here's part of the alpha group, Hocus. Pedro. And Jinx. And then up strolls Harmony. She's lower than these others in terms of her hierarchy, and then Percy at the back there, just walking along. And there's Harmony, Pedro in the background.
So we like to try and show you some of the troop monkeys as well as the babies, because obviously most of these were orphans as well, and they all have stories. They all have a lot of stories to tell, I'm sure, so we don't want to leave anybody out. And then we have Luxie, also part of the alpha group. If anybody, it's usually Luxie that does the chasing. There's Priscilla, Percy's mum. She's a gentle female. And then Count, who's a gentle older boy. Let's see. Count. His teeth aren't so great, so you can see he eats the seeds in an old man way, but he does still manage to eat. So with the old ones, we're still food monitoring them. We make sure that they're okay in the troop and they can still eat hard foods, as well as the soft foods. So he's one of the boys we keep an eye on as well. And then we've got Apollo. Just throwing him some seeds, but he's moving on. We've got Yankee here, who we hope to integrate one day. She has been in a troop before, but that Skunky didn't work out so well, so we're hoping to move her across to H&B at some point. She's quite highly strung. And here's Millie. Millie's also quite a gentle female, and she's one of the ones you may remember when Skylar and Jinx had their integrations, that she can sometimes be left in over lunch. Because she's quite trustworthy. She's not one that's likely to redirect as such. And when I say redirect, I mean redirecting aggression onto other members. Because if an alpha female comes up to the door, we don't want the monkey inside to get bitten by the monkey that's in there. And there's his beautiful Mufasa. Give him some seeds. He, if you remember, or for those that know, he was on the side of the Robert troop. Has now been moved to H&B to start his integrations. He is an older guy, so we'll see how he does in the group. But it won't be for a little while yet. Here's Nino, just on the monitoring rounds, and his brother Sachmo. This little man has so much fun in the trees. It's wonderful to see him progress. There's Z, his foster mum, and Mango, and Mango.
well, it wasn't long before we got another call about a little orphan that had lost his mother, this time all the way up in Messina, so it's a long drive and a long way away. And I managed to get hold of Werner, who gladly said he'd assist us. He stays in the Louis Trichardt area, so it's a little bit closer for him. And they went and collected this little one. We were a bit worried because the people who found him did not know how to feed him, and didn't have transport to get to any vets or any place that they could get proper feed for this little monkey. Fortunately for us, Werner and Marty have looked after monkeys before, and it didn't take long for him to jump in his vehicle, pick this little one up, and of course look after it through the night, and then bring it through to us halfway the following day, so that we could carry on with the rehab program. So very big thank you for the effort that these two, Marty and Werner, have put in. This is the third time to help us get a little one to safety. It's very hard to leave a little orphan in a cage screaming, so eventually I just have to give in and let the little one come to me, and they really just need the comfort or to feel secure, and this is very important for them. One's got to realize they've lost everything that they've had and everything that they've known, so it is a very traumatic time, and just to have somebody, anybody really just comforting them and trying to make them feel a little bit better, make them feel warmer and wanted is very important. And you can just see, even though this little guy doesn't know me at all, he is clinging on to me, and is already like looking at me as his little savior. So it's very important to give them that bit of trust and comfort, and just make sure they're okay on the trip back. So it's not easy just to leave them in a little cage and let them screaming and screaming. This is going to actually increase the trauma that they're going to suffer, because they feel they've lost everything. So very important, this part, and we do our best to try and comfort them as much as we can on the journey home. Another thing is that I'm not forcing anything upon him, which also makes it a lot easier for him. He can move around as he wants to, or get off me if he wants to get off me. So it's totally up to him what he wants to do, really. And I think this also helps him not feel trapped or caught or anything like that. Although he's still looking around for his mom. Naturally, this is something he is going to do, because he's just lost her recently. So it's always looking out, and most of the monkeys you'll see that we bring back with us, always looking out the windows, trying to see what's going on. Also sometimes looking for some kind of escape route. Not that they know how they're going to do it or where they're going to go once they get out, but they do try their best, and you know, it's just one of those little things. But as I say, he slowly gets used to being around me and with me, and looks at me as something that's going to protect him in the meantime, while he sort of tries to figure out where his mom is and what he's going to do next. As you can see, I come from a real beautiful area. It's a very scenic drive. It's kind of out in the middle of nowhere, very far between the towns or little areas where you can actually do a bit of shopping. So the drive from the foundation is at least 2 hours, and then another 2-hour trip back. So it is a little bit of a way to go, but it gives us enough time to sort of make friends and find out a little bit more about each other on the trip. This was actually Friday morning, and it's the day that I do the shopping for the foundation. So I couldn't actually go all the way home. I had to call Josie and ask if she'd meet up with us so that I could hand the little monkey over and continue with the shopping for the day. So I made an extra early start. We left here at about 7:30 in the morning, just so that we could get there early enough for the monkey, and we've sort of made it back here sort of 3.5 hours later, and now I've got to get ready for our shopping trip. So little guy's just having a look out at the mall and the people walking around while we wait for Josie to pitch up and come and collect him and then take him back to the foundation. This, of course, is always the heartbreaking part, is when the little one's constantly calling out for his mom. So it makes you realize that he knows actually what's going on. He knows that he's had some loss, and you know, it's just so difficult sitting with them, and sort of the thoughts go through your mind. What's he thinking? You know, he had everything. He had a little family, and his mom was holding him. It was nice and warm underneath her, and all of a sudden this big bang. And everything changes completely. You're holding on to your mom's lifeless little body, and then the stranger that you've taught to be scared of comes and picks you up and takes you away, and you just don't know what's going to happen to your life basically after that. And so it is quite a traumatic stage for these guys, and just to build up their trust again and get them to understand that you're there to help them and make a difference to their little lives is so important. So anyway, here's Joe has just pitched up, and now I can introduce the little one to her, and hopefully his journey is going to be a little bit better, and soon he'll be back with monkeys of his own kind, and he can see it's not as bad as it all seems.
Just arrived in Food Lovers car park because Dave has a new baby and he needs to go and do food shopping. So I'm just here to collect baby and take back to VMF. Oh, look at you, hey? Do we know if it's a male or female?
Looks like a male.
A male. And what's the story?
Well, they just say they picked it up on the side of the road, but it looks like this one's lost its mom recently. It's been crying the whole way, looking out the window, trying to find its mom. So it doesn't really stop.
Okay, we'll get him back quickly and take a look and see what we can do. Has he had any milk or rehab?
Just been having rehab. He's had some of this banana stuff.
Okay. And were they able to get him any milk or anything last night?
No, they gave him, he's only had rehab. He's only had rehab,
okay. I've got a bottle for him, so we'll get him some milk shortly.
He does jerk. I can't see if he's got a flea somewhere because he's got like a jerky flea movement.
Maybe it's stress or something as well. Okay, I'll take a look. Okay, thank you. Alright, little one, we'll get you back. So I'm just checking over the bush baby rehabilitation cage today, so that they can hopefully move out of my spare room and into this lovely area, or temporary area, that Esti's prepared for them. So we've actually even got a solar light, which is Dave's idea, to attract the insects so that they can hunt before they actually are released into the wild. There's the solar panel up the top. They've got lovely green trees, and then their nest box is going to just go up in the corner there. We've just got a platform for their food, because we don't want them to encourage them to go down on the ground, probably more likely to be eaten, so make sure they've got a platform for their food. And the idea is we've got a small hole, bit like a feeding cage. This door can open, go up to this branch and this tree, so that they can go in and out as they like, and then but other things can't come and eat them and get them. And then the feeding platform here hopefully will encourage them to come back again, so that we can do a soft release, and we'll see what happens. So it's all chicken wired to make sure there's nowhere they can get out, because they're very small. So it's actually situated in our quarantine area. We don't have any monkeys in here at the moment, and there's this big marula tree at the top,
And bush babies can jump very far, so they are able to jump from tree to tree. They can actually jump further than the monkeys can, and then they can go make their home somewhere. But for now, this is where they're going to be. I can have my guest room back.
A very big thank you to all of our supporters out there, our members, our new members, people who are watching the ads and sharing, joining our Patreon and our Instagram. We really do appreciate it, and we're very thankful for the support and the encouragement that we get for everybody. The comments do help us know what's going on, so please do make comments every now and again. It does help us, but best of all, thank you for watching, thank you for being part of our family, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll be busy working on the next one for you coming up next week. Please don't forget about the live shows on South African time, Saturday 7 o'clock in the morning, and Sunday. We'll see you all there. Thanks everyone.